Deck the halls, bitch. Christmas came early this year. We've got 2 new special Euphoria episodes to look forward to. The blessed day is Sunday, December 6th, and you can stream both episodes on HBO Max. It is truly the most euphoric time of year, so listen in for our thoughts, predictions, and usual roundup of Euphoria gossip. It's time to get euphoric, but make it Christmas, hoes! Hey Alex, how's it going?
Hey Paige, what it is.
Wow, it's been a minute.
And also, hello Euphorians.
Yes, hello Euphorians. We have missed you ever so much. There's no exaggeration in that. I actually really miss podcasting, but as we all know, there's really not. Well, now there's a lot to podcast about, but before, we were having quite a dry spell.
Yeah, but look, it's picking up at least for a moment. Here we are, 1 week out from the first new episode of Euphoria since season 1.
I'm literally so excited. Also,
oh man,
this feels really bizarre because normally we're drinking, but we're sober for this. So for all of our listeners that enjoy the drunken banter. Oh my god, I can't even speak, even though I'm sober. Alex and I have been drinking a lot. I mean, it's the holidays. COVID is still just an absolute shit show. But we did get a great celebration, and we got to celebrate Biden winning, which is fucking amazing.
True.
Thank God, praise the heavens that's
a little silver lining.
Yes, a silver lining. So we've been drinking a lot, so we're kind of taking the night off for a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrating.
Just a little break.
Yeah.
All right, so take us through those updates before we we'll talk a little bit about the new episode, obviously, and hit you with some of our predictions. But first,
and this is like a little mini episode.
Yeah, just a little baby one.
You know, a little baby episode.
So, what have we been missing in the past few months, Paige? What's new in Euphoria land?
I mean, the biggest announcement yet is that Alex and I had the most euphoric Halloween you could ever have.
Ah, true.
Right? So,
True.
Alex and I, COVID's still a thing, so we did not go out. We decided to just party it up in our apartment with Meatball, and we got super drunk, and we went all out. We got dressed up. I'm sure you all saw on our Instagram. Alex was the beautiful Jules.
Jules dressed as Juliet.
Jules dressed as Juliet, and I was Rue dressed as, I already forget
Marlene Dietrich.
Marlene Dietrich. It's been a minute. Our costumes, I thought, were fucking fantastic.
Yo, our costumes turned out so well.
I wasn't the only one that thought it was fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah? Who else thought it was fantastic, Paige?
The queen herself, Zendaya.
Oh.
She liked our Instagram post.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Halloween 2020.
I'm not gonna lie.
Zendaya liked our post.
Yeah, normally shit like that is just kind of fun. It's not that big a deal, and I never thought I'd care that much. But when we were drinking and dancing around in our costumes, and I saw that she liked our post,
you were losing your mind.
I was literally losing my mind. It made me realize how much I really love Zendaya, and I totally get why all of her fans are psychotic. Meaning, yeah, I mean, there's just so many of them. They just follow her every move. I mean, she's the queen of their lives, and I didn't realize that I connected on that. And that night, I found out I do.
Now she's the queen of your life.
I know. It's hard not to have a girl crush on her, too. Everyone in Euphoria, I have a girl crush on, but she's been killing it lately since her big Oscar win. Mm-hmm. Oscar, oh my God, did I get that wrong? Emmy.
Yeah, not an Oscar win.
Oh my God, tonight's just not my night.
That's all right.
I'm such an idiot. Ignore me. But yeah, after her big Emmy win, she's been slaying the cover of every magazine and just looking fucking badass.
Get it, girl.
Yeah.
But our costumes turned out fucking sweet.
They
I
were
was
really
stoked
good.
on those.
I hope our Euphorians enjoyed it because I sure did.
And that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we just blasted music and jumped on the bed and ran around like idiots till probably 4 a.m.
Yeah, and respect to like the Euphoria makeup artist because doing your makeup was like actually it was a lot of fun, but it was really hard. Like it took us like an hour.
Yeah, you took a good while on mine and then a good while on yours too. But you did a great job.
Thank you.
With no practice either. We didn't do any trial runs. We just went straight in.
I know. Euphoria season 2. If you're looking for a new hire for
there
makeup
still,
artists,
our apartment is still covered in glitter from my costume. Yeah. I don't think the gold glitter will ever go away.
No, there's literally glitter everywhere. And you were straight chugging vodka out of the bottle just like Jules does at the party.
Yeah, I was. I got very into character.
Actually, if I'm going to be really precise, she was chugging tequila, but we only had vodka.
Yep. Yeah, but I was really feeling. Once I put on the dress and the wings, I was really connecting. I really got in the headspace of Jules on Halloween night.
You did?
Oh yeah.
You just like transformed.
Oh yeah, I transformed. I wasn't me anymore.
In the shoes of the character.
Yeah, I was Juliet Jules.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I just all I was missing was a pool. But,
that would have been nice.
So there you go. Halloween was sweet. What else happened at Halloween, Paige?
What else happened on Halloween? Well, Lexi won our costume.
Yeah, we ran a sweet little like best Euphoria Halloween costume contest. Yeah, and there was kind of an upset. Lexi won. I didn't see that coming.
I like that though.
I do too. It's cool.
I'm like appreciative of that. It reminds me of that TikTok that's like that's the Mean Girls blip about the one night a year where you get to dress like a total slut, and then the idea is to use that background and then do a video of you looking like a fucking ugly ass like piece of shit. So I kind of love that Lexi with the most lackluster costume, but the most humorous.
It wasn't lackluster. She did a good job. She looked like Bob Ross.
It was easy.
Yeah, it was easy, but she still looked like Bob Ross. 2 seconds. Yeah,
like, I mean, doing your makeup for Jules' outfit took me an hour. Like, she just had to throw on a wig and like a mustache.
Yeah.
But it's great. No, I'm not like dissing it. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I just thought our Euphorians would choose the costume that like took the most time, was the most like detailed, but I was like shocked to see that everyone just fucking loved Lexi.
Yeah. I thought Rue or Jules would win because they're fan faves, or I thought it would be Cassie or Maddie because they have great costumes.
It's them, yeah.
But yeah, total upset. Lexi takes the cake.
Costume winner of the evening, Bob Ross.
So there you go.
So thanks for participating. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go into some of the updates of what everyone's up to. Like I said, Zendaya's been gracing like every cover of every magazine. She did a really cool one with Essence in which she projected like a lot of the same photos that the first black supermodel to cover British Vogue, Danielle Luna. I think I'm saying that right. Is that correct? We just listened.
I don't know. I think so.
I know how it's spelled and everything, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But it's, Danielle Luna, I believe. Danielle Luna? I don't know.
I think it's just Danielle Luna.
I think so too.
It's okay, girl. You got it.
I got it.
No one's gonna come murder you.
I know, but
it's okay.
It was just really cool. She like mimicked a lot of her photos, and it was just a great cover shoot. It was kind of like all over the media because Zendaya's, the big talk of the town right now. Yeah, the media.
All over the media.
But then someone else is all over the media right now on Euphoria.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas Gage, our man.
Our boy Lucas.
Our boy Lucas. Alex, you can kind of give a little background on that because you've seen
he's just really shot up there in terms of stardom this week because he had a pretty funny Zoom encounter where he was like auditioning for a role over Zoom, and the guy he was auditioning with thought his mic was muted and was just shitting on Lucas's apartment and talking about how tiny and bad it was.
Like,
it
also doesn't,
and just being like so rude, and it didn't even look bad.
It didn't look bad. It just looked like a
totally
normal fucking apartment.
This guy was just being a fucking ass, and then Lucas like handled it very well, way better than I would have, and kind of like joked about it and was like, "Yeah, give me the role so I can like get out of this apartment."
But
then, like, this story, like, obviously picked up a ton of attention because people in Hollywood love to point out how shitty Hollywood is. Rightfully so. So a ton of, like, big stars, like Busy Phillips and I don't know who else, other people.
a ton of people
were, like, laughing about it and reposting it and stuff.
I love it.
So
I love that for him so much.
A nice little bit of, like, extra boost to his career there. Hopefully, if he doesn't get that job, he'll get some other jobs just off of the popularity there.
I hope so, too.
Going viral or becoming a meme or whatever.
He was viral. He was on, like, the Daily Mail. I mean, the next morning it was on, like, every big media source. And rightfully so. Like you said, the guy was a total ass. Also, he's still... Okay, he said if the video got 100K views, he would say who it was.
Oh, yeah.
I should have had you look.
I wonder if it did.
I don't think he has yet.
He probably wouldn't say anyway.
A bunch of people were guessing. No, I think he was. He was like 100K, and I'll let you all know. What does he have to lose? I mean...
I don't know. He must have gotten 100K on it by now, though, right?
I would think so. Well, I'll look later. Maybe we'll update on next episode if we find out. But... yeah, I love that for him. I love how quick-witted he was. I'm so bad at shit like that. Like,
he handled that very well.
I would just be like, I'd probably start crying and then turn off my Zoom.
I probably would have just been like, wow, fuck you, dude.
I know. I wouldn't have auditioned.
Also.
Like, good for him. He probably just needs it. Like, every actor, like, needs their next job, especially during COVID. But I honestly think I would have just been like, you know what, go fuck yourself. And I just would have been done.
Yeah, I think I'm too prideful to handle it that well. But I was impressed.
Yeah.
So good on him. He's also, he does have some new job because he's in Hawaii with Sydney Sweeney filming a project they're working on.
It's called White Lotus?
It's called White Lotus. It's a new HBO show about guests at some, like, schwanky resort. And it follows, like, different guests and employees, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but it's like a satire. There's a bunch of people in it. Like, I don't know, Molly Shannon's in it, and I'm excited because John Grease is in it, and he's the guy that plays Uncle Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh shit!
So I'm excited
Uncle
to see
Pedro.
him in it.
That's
or
his name?
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
I was like Uncle Pedro.
Uncle
Napoleon
Rico.
Dynamite.
And so I'm excited about that. There's a fucking ton of other people in it.
Yeah, I think it's an HBO show too.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for them. Yeah, I originally, when I told you that they were in Hawaii, you were like, oh my God, they're dating. And I was like, you're going to start spreading rumors. Lucas and Sydney are not dating.
No, they're
Lucas
just
has a
there
girlfriend
filming together.
But yeah, but they are there, and it looks so fucking nice.
But Sydney was making out with some big, beefy pizza man there.
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
He's not a beefy pizza man.
Yes, he is. That's exactly what he is.
Okay, he is beefy, but... Okay, so it's Just Jared, which is like a total dumb like paparazzi site, but I noticed that Sydney Sweeney's been like all over this like beefy guy, and I looked him up because I'm jealous because I have a girl crush on Sydney Sweeney, so I'm like, who's she with? Okay, his name is Jonathan. Let's see, Jonathan Davino.
Jonathan Beefy Pizza Man Davino.
Well, I'm laughing. This site is obviously a piece of shit because half of it's misspelled. It says he's reportedly a restaurant owner and the heir to the pizza company Pompeii, and I think it's supposed to say the heir.
Probably.
But also, who gives a fuck about being the heir to the pizza company Pompeii? What's Pompeii?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
I mean, maybe it's something really cool, and we're just over here shitting on this poor guy. He's probably like, I mean, he's an heir to pizza. You can't really get much better than that.
I told you, he's Beefy Pizza Man. That was an accurate description.
And she really is. She has Sydney like legs wrapped around him. They're having a great time in Hawaii. Good for her. Honestly, good for her. She works really hard, so she deserves a little PDA in Hawaii.
Yeah. There you go.
Love that for her. Well, other news, Ethan, aka Austin Abrams, who plays Ethan.
Yes. Our boy Ethan.
He's in this like really shitty Netflix Christmas show. It's really bad.
It's terrible.
Lily and Dash, I think it's called or something.
Yep.
I made Alex watch the entire thing with me because I was sick and he didn't have a choice. He didn't choose to watch it. He was just in bed with me and I just didn't give him any other option.
Yeah, it's really bad. To give you an idea, it's about like two people that don't know each other who like trade this journal back and forth where they like make each other do like ridiculous Christmas dares.
Which is so juvenile.
But they don't
how
meet.
Old are we?
They don't meet the entire show until like the very end. It was fucking preposterous.
It's also
and he's
just
like
so
a Scrooge
dumb.
And he hates Christmas, and she's like a psychotic. Like she like loves Christmas and like carols with a bunch of like old people. It was bad.
It was horrendously bad. But you know what? Good for Austin Abrams. It was like #1 on Netflix for like 2 weeks. So
there you go. Get that money.
Also,
Also, he in the movie lives on the Upper East Side, which is our neighborhood. And
Yes.
we realized that
Fun
last year
fact.
we saw him without realizing it was him because they film a scene at the subway station a block from our house. And we saw like a film crew there, and we saw a guy like running down the escalator into the subway station, and we were like, "Huh, I wonder what that is."
Well,
and then we were watching that
he had a Santa hat
movie,
in his hand, though.
and
That's
there
how
it
we
is.
know.
What?
He had a Santa hat in his hand as he ran down the subway escalator.
Yeah.
And Alex and I were like, oh my God, when this happened last year, we both were just like, I wonder what they're filming. It's definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And then we saw it and we're like, oh my God, that's Ethan.
Yep.
So we've met Ethan. I'm just kidding.
So we're best friends with Austin Abrams.
Yeah, so awesome.
But we
Abrams,
did see him,
shout out.
and our subway stop is in that terrible Netflix show.
Our apartment where we live is literally in every single film, TV show in New York. Everyone is always on our street. It's
Our hood
so
is,
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, our neighborhood's in a lot of stuff we're realizing over
I
time.
know. I love that for us. I'm like, Euphoria season 2. Like, this is a great location. You guys should come this way.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Austin Abrams. Maybe he'll like send the word along. He'll be like, wow, I really like that area.
That show was really bad.
It was really bad. Oh my gosh, Meatball's tail is on our notes, and I can't even see
Meatball.
what's next.
Get your tail out of here.
Well, Hunter Schafer, not too much about her. I did notice, though, she posted, or I don't know if she posted, but I saw on Twitter that she was hanging out with Willow Smith. There was like a photo of her. And I guess I'm not surprised by that. Willow Smith is like very strange, kind of bizarre, like out there, like free spirit.
Those Smith children turned out so strange.
I know you're not a fan. It doesn't bother me, but you're very like that. You just think they're psycho.
They're just so weird, and I'm here for really weird people, and they're too weird for me.
Yeah,
but that's fine. They do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing, boo. But yeah, they were hanging out, and then she was in a music video with FKA Twigs, and they're like making out in it. I'm pretty sure, and I think it might just be artistic. Like I don't think they're like dating or anything because I haven't.
Just an artsy makeout.
Yeah, it was artsy makeout, and I was here for it.
There you go. Just like Sydney Sweeney was artsy making out with that beefy pizza man.
With the heir to Pompeii Pizza Company.
Yeah. Hot.
Yeah, I love that for both of them.
He's a character.
Well, it's just strange. Like, yeah, like no like major judgment, I guess, but it's also like I want to know more. Like Sydney Sweeney is like
that's a wild. Seems like a wild card choice for her, but hey.
I just feel like right now she's one of the hottest girls.
He's hooking her up with the free pizza, so that's the real win.
She does like those what are they, the quesadillas she eats?
Butter dogs.
Butter tacos. Yeah.
Butter dogs.
She likes butter tacos, so I'm sure she likes
butter
pizza
dog.
Too. Well, anyways, yeah, we're going down a weird path here. I swear this will get more interesting.
What else is going on?
I don't know. Honestly, there's nothing major. Like everyone is like thriving on Instagram, and they're all like living their life and still doing all these things, but like you can just tell that there's such a dry spell and that everyone's dying to get back to filming on Euphoria. Like,
and we're also dying for that so that we can make more podcasts.
I know what I wanted to talk about. Alexa Demi did a podcast episode for A24.
Oh yeah,
what's his name?
She was on the A24 podcast with Nathan Fielder.
Yes.
And it's pretty interesting because they could not be like more different.
Yeah, but it worked.
Oh yeah, it's a fun listen, but they're like such like funnily like different people. Like he's very like normie and like dry, and she's like so out there and like
she's just more LA, like very like I believe in crystals.
Yeah,
I crawl around my apartment to like get out of my body.
Yeah, she was talking about how she like will spend like an hour or two like inhabiting like the mindset of an animal, like a cat or something, and
a
like
panther.
She'll like roll around her apartment like on all fours, like pretending to be a panther for like an hour as like an artistic like exercise.
I love Alexa Demi though because she doesn't take herself too seriously. Like she definitely does that shit for sure, but she like laughs.
She's like fun about it.
She knows
though.
It's like weird. Yeah. But like I love.
Yeah, that's a good listen.
Very
I'd recommend
good.
that if you're looking for other podcasts, the A24 podcast.
I think a lot of people are. We're about to go into another lockdown. Like things are about to get boring as shit again. So yeah, definitely recommend listening to that. It's the A24 podcast.
Speaking of podcasts, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about Euphoria a little bit, and they kind of had like a theory on there a little bit. Just like kind of like a new way of looking at some of the fantastical elements of Euphoria that I appreciated.
Cool.
The podcast is called Red Scare, and it's if you're looking for like a political podcast, that's a good one. But they were talking about
Red Scare.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
They were talking about how Sam Levinson may have like made Euphoria as kind of like his fantastical take on Gen Z, because Gen Z statistically is like very drab. Like they party less, they drive less, they have less sex, they do less drugs than all the previous generations.
I
Which
was
is kind of
baffled
like
when you told me that.
it's kind of like bucked the trend, because generally like each progressive like generation gets a little more like wilder in American history, like does more, like becomes more and more open, like sexually or to drugs or to partying or whatever. And Gen Z like really reverse that, and it's mostly like due to social media. Studies show, because people generally, instead of hanging out in person where you can swap drugs or like hook up with people or drink, people are mostly staying at home and engaging with each other on social media instead of in person. Which is
hence
why
the dick pics.
yeah, which is also why they drive less. Like nobody drives to go see anybody else. So this generation is like statistically very dry, but he's presenting kind of like this like alternate universe version of Gen Z that's the exact opposite. Like they're even harder into drugs, like more experimental drugs. They're getting weird pharmaceuticals and like weird psychedelics like from the internet. Like they're like being incredibly like sexually adventurous, like exploring like all kinds of stuff. Like so it's kind of like this alternate like fantasy world take on Gen Z, and that could be like Sam Levinson's like imagining of that, or it could be like his like kind of like a like, oh, I wish this was like my experience as like a youth, like, but it kind of like reinforces that there's some fantasy element of Euphoria, and that was kind of a new way of looking at the fantasy elements and why they may be in place. Like it's not just for the fuck of it. It could be like this is intentionally like presenting like a different world view, like a different like alternate universe take on this generation, and how it could be if things look different.
That's cool.
So I thought that was kind of cool. I hadn't really heard that take on it before.
Yeah, Euphorians, like, what do you think? Let us know. Slide into my DMs. I want to know if you think the same thing, because a lot of our listeners are Gen Z, and I never thought of it that way until you said that. I was baffled, because I'm like, what do you mean? And I immediately referred to my experience in high school, which was like really crazy. I wasn't doing drugs and stuff, but I was exposed to it, and I was hooking up and doing all sorts of shit.
And of course, people are still doing all this stuff. Like, no one's saying that they don't, but statistically, by numbers, like the numbers of those things have declined in Gen
I know, but I'm
Z,
saying like I had a Razor cell phone. I wasn't like on
Duh.
Instagram. I wasn't on TikTok. I wasn't using any of these things. So once you brought that up, I got it. I understood, because I can see the appeal of wanting to be lazy. Like when you have everything at your fingertips, it's a lot harder to make the effort, go to parties, go, like you said, drive places.
Right.
Like it's just
they're at parties a lot. Like they're getting out of the house and getting dressed up and going and doing things that are like
well, especially with quarantine. That's not definitely not
increasingly people are doing those things less.
It'll be interesting to see after, coronavirus, whatever, hopefully it fucking dies eventually when we have a vaccine, but like it'll be interesting to see how lazy people get. I'm just curious to know if people are gonna like hit the pavement fucking ready to rage, or is it just gonna be like, I have so much PTSD from like being inside for so long. You know what I mean?
Know. It'll probably be a mixed bag, but I personally will be ready to rage.
Yeah, not me. Well, that's really cool. Sweet. Well, listen to that podcast too if you get bored. I'll link them both in our stories so that, the listeners have another outlet. So I think we just need to dive into the new special episode.
Let's talk the new episode. 1 week from now, we're getting the new episode. There's a poster out. There's 2 posters out. What do you think? What do you think of the poster? Yeah. What do we think's going to happen?
Well, first of all, before we even dive into that, I do just want to make note for anyone that doesn't know, or anyone that's living under a rock. It will be streaming on HBO Max, and it's Sunday, December 6th. Ingrain that in your fucking brain, because this is going to be the biggest day.
Get ready. Prepare your bodies.
Prepare your bodies and your minds. But yes,
buy all your drugs off the internet.
But get some cooks.
Make sure your Juul pods are all ready to go.
Charged and ready. So... yeah, the poster. So I don't have much to say. It's part 1, Rue, and it says this is not season 2, which we already knew from all the gossip before all this. But I think for me, it like reemphasizes that part of the poster is like a hint that there aren't going to be many cast members in this episode. That's just my take on it.
Right. We're getting like a weird like filler episodes. So I think that they will be light on plot.
Exactly. The poster. So my first weird reaction, I posted it on our Instagram, was that I felt like the picture of Rue, I know it's like blurry as shit, but I feel like she looked really young in it. Like it almost didn't even look like her, but I think it was just like the image. I'm just being like stupid, but I really thought she looked like a baby in it.
I don't know. Maybe we're getting a young Rue flashback.
That's what I was wondering.
We only had a brief young Rue flashback for the most part. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that's right.
Because it's a holiday episode too. Supposedly it's based around Christmas. We might get like a flash into like young Rue's life growing up around the holidays, what that's like. I don't know. I just had this feeling that I have a feeling they're gonna dive into like her childhood somehow.
All right, Paige's prediction: young Rue.
The second poster, it's weird because it is a poster. I think Hunter posted it after Zendaya. So like Zendaya posted the one, and then Hunter posted the other poster, which obviously I think is a huge hint that like they're the two. I think both episodes are going to be just about them. And I think we're lucky if we get a couple characters.
There might
on
be
the
a couple other characters in there, but I agree. I think they'll probably be the central focus.
I think the second poster is really
episodes.
cute. I love it. I like it better than the one of Rue that's all blurry. It's just kind of like, cool, she's dead on the bed, or like we hope she's not, but it's like
Rue's corpse.
It's right after she did her like labyrinth dance. She's like, oh, for us, and then she just passes the fuck out because she's so fucked up.
Yep. So there we go. Little information from the posters. So what are we thinking about the new episode? So I know you said young Rue.
Maybe.
There's a theory going around on the internet that I looked into that apparently seems completely baseless. Some Italian like website posted this theory, but they did not list any source or citation or mention how they came to acquire this theory. But it also doesn't seem like an unreasonable theory, so maybe this is right. But they think that the first episode is going to open with a like Rue and Jules living their best life in New York dream sequence, which will then cut to being like, oh, that was just a dream, and now Rue is like talking to Ollie in a diner, still like working on her like rehab and like trying to quit drugs.
So okay, this isn't that far-fetched, like, but also we don't know shit, and meaning like we literally don't know. If this was a season 2 episode, we could sit here all day and have millions of theories of what's next, but we know that that's not the case. They literally say on the poster, this is not season 2. Right. So therefore any ideas you or I have or anyone has honestly could just be jack shit and be worth nothing.
Yeah, I kind of vibe with the dream sequence part because I think with these being like plot light episodes, it's a good opportunity and an interesting opportunity, and especially with how much they kind of like to like dabble in like fantastical stuff, I think this would be a good chance to do like kind of more experimental episodes. So I could see like maybe the whole episode is the dream sequence. Maybe it's like 50 minutes of like dream sequence of them in New York, and then at the end it like cuts or something. Totally. I don't know. It seems reasonable.
My only other thought, did you have anything else to say on that? My only other thought is, because it's part 1 Rue, obviously I think part 2 will be Jules. And you know what's funny is before they came out with that, I will take credit. I think I even said it in our last episode that I thought one would be from completely Rue's point of view, and I think the other will almost be the same sequence, but then from Jules' point of view.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? Like, I don't think they'll...
That's possible.
I don't think it's going to be like this happens and then, oh no, what happens next episode? I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be like we go through this whole experience from Rue's point of view.
Or it's like, here's Rue's Christmas and here's Jules' Christmas or something.
Exactly. And then we get like Jules' point of view going through that.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool. Because we don't really get, because it's always narrated by Rue. So it would be really strange and bizarre if we got to hear Jules kind of narrate her experience. Yeah, that could be cool.
Let's talk Corona. What do we think about the pandemic? Do we think these episodes are going to acknowledge the pandemic and tie into like the real world, or are they going to not mention that and not be like based in the real world?
It's tough.
Are they going to be wearing masks? Are they going to be quarantining?
Here's the thing.
What do we think?
Maybe not, because it's a dream sequence. And if it's not real life and we're not experiencing, real scenarios, I mean, I don't have dreams during quarantine and dream that I'm wearing a mask in my dream. So I'm like, maybe they're gonna dodge that by being like, this is a dream.
Yeah, Law and Order SVU right now is doing the real world shit, and they're like wearing masks like during the episodes, and it's incredibly awkward because there's no like rhyme or reason to when they have the masks on and when they take them off, and the whole time you're just thinking like, God, that's a stupid time to take your mask off. Like,
Yeah.
and
Well, you can't hear them if it's on.
it's turning out like very, very awkward. So previously I had thought that like, oh, maybe that would be good, but now I'm like, yeah, I kind of hope they don't do the pandemic.
Same.
Or if they do, I think what would make the most sense is if everyone was just stuck in quarantine, and it was like, here's Rue stuck in quarantine and here's Jules stuck in quarantine.
Totally. I agree with you.
After Law and Order, I'm like, we probably don't need this. I don't need them wearing masks and stuff.
And not to be like ignorant, but I'm also like, I don't need to watch like coronavirus. We live it every fucking day. It's so depressing, and it's taking away so much from like our country and people's families that I'm like, I really don't need to. I don't need my like beautiful heavenly world of Euphoria to clash with the coronavirus.
By
like,
the
please,
coronavirus.
yeah.
Okay, here's another question though. So if it were, if the coronavirus were in Euphoria, who is an anti-masker?
Oh fuck, Nate, of course,
Nate,
and Cal.
I was thinking Nate,
Cal.
and I could see Maddie being an anti-masker, just because she's
Kind
kind
of
of
a
like
Karen or
brash
something?
and like ignorant and like doesn't seem to
yes
regard
and
other
no.
people to a high degree.
Yes and no. I would. Oh, okay.
And she's with Nate, so I could see those two being like the anti-mask.
Do you think they're all
like,
gonna wear
queens.
rhinestone masks
Oh my
if
god!
it is quarantine?
But they have like crazy, like amazing, beautiful
Swarovski
masks.
crystal like masks.
Oh my god, that like match out every outfit.
Oh, you know they'll
That
match
would
the
be
fucking outfits.
if
They're
they
not
did
just,
have them. That would be a good opportunity for the costume designers to really
Yeah, if it's quarantine, they're
flex
not
some
wearing
mask
those white and
skills.
blue paper masks.
nah.
They're gonna have
No,
that good
no.
shit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, my question is, what do you think? If it is just Rue and Jules going through quarantine, do you think either of them will do anything that's like trending now in quarantine? Like, are they gonna be like tie-dyeing like sweatsuits together, like doing TikToks?
Oh my god,
I'm
I
kidding.
hope not. But,
I don't think Sam Levinson would even like.
Kat is like baking bread.
Yeah, Kat's like learning how to
She
make
like
banana
bakes bread and then like twerks all over it. Her
No,
pay
Kat
pig-
would be the TikToker,
the
don't
pay
you think?
pigs are like paying her like
Yeah.
extra to like make bread and then
Kat
twerk
would have
on
a
it,
trill-
and then
what is
like
it,
send
Triller?
the bread to them.
Kat would have a Triller. It's
What's
like a
Triller?
TikTok. You haven't heard of Triller?
No, I don't know Triller.
Triller's
I'm
like
just
the
too
more
out of the
like
loop.
it's like the ratchet TikTok. It's really funny. It's like everyone that's listening probably
Oh,
knows.
duh! Obviously, Kat would have an OnlyFans.
Oh,
Duh.
absolutely.
I don't know why I didn't think of
Sydney,
that.
okay, Cassie would be making banana bread.
Yeah, for sure.
Her
Cassie
and
would be doing
Lexi.
like wholesome things like baking bread.
Yeah, but her and Lexi might be like drunk one night. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they'd be drinking wine, but like they would be doing like the wholesome
And
shit.
you're right. Maddie's just gonna bitch and complain the whole time, and maybe do like some sheet masks, like spa day type vibes, like. But she'll be pissed because her parents won't let her leave because it's lockdown, and she'll want to see Nate.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be good.
Well, if also like imagine Nate and Cal having quarantine together. That's some
And then-
tension.
Oh my god! And then Cal's gonna go back
They're
to
gonna
that
kill each
restaurant because he
other.
wants mac and mash so bad that he's not gonna wear
Oh,
a
yeah.
mask, and they won't
they'll
let him
kick
in.
out. Yeah.
They kick him to
I
the
could see
fucking
that.
curb.
He's trying to get the mac and mash, and they're like, Cal, get out.
And he can't hook up at the motel because everything's closed.
Well,
Ooh,
hotels
poor
are
Cal.
still open. He would be the one having like risky like sexual
Yeah.
encounters with like, he would carry on that. He would have to.
He'd have to.
But then but what if he gets corona doing it and then he gives corona to his whole family and they all die?
Oh yeah, and then the little brother comes home, and his whole family's dead because
Little
of
Beans
coronavirus.
comes home.
Little Beans.
Oh man.
Okay,
Yeah.
McKay would absolutely be like the workoutaholic, which is what Algie's just doing in real
Yeah,
life.
he'd just be training.
He would just be his character.
Yeah. Boring.
I love that. That's a good like quick quarantine recap of like what everyone.
Yeah, who are we missing?
Angus.
yeah,
Fezco.
Fezco.
He would be like drug sales up the wazoo. He'd be doing the
Yeah.
best business he's ever done because everyone wants to get fucked up during quarantine.
Yeah, probably.
They'd be like,
He'd probably like start a delivery service.
yeah,
He'd have to start doing deliveries.
that'd be great. And then Rue and her little sister are probably bond. I feel like they'd watch a lot of more Love Island. They'd probably like hang out, have some deep like
It could be
sister
good
talks.
for Rue. It could be harder to like get drugs and do drugs if you were just home all the time, like with
Yeah.
your mom and your sister. So maybe it's good for the rehab. I don't know.
For sure.
Cool.
Well, that was fun.
Coronavirus.
I love thinking about this type of stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. I will say I just hope that it's not mixed in. I just don't really like. I also don't know if it fits the timeline necessarily. I know Euphoria is kind of vague on. We've talked about this so many times in other episodes, but like we don't really know if they're in 2020, do we?
We know it's like set during modern times just because of their phones and like the things they like talk about. Well, actually we do.
And
well,
shit.
no, we do because Rue was born the day after September 11th.
You're right. Okay. So yeah.
And she's like, I don't know, 17 or 18. So, you know.
Yeah.
It's around like 2018, 19.
Other than all the quarantine stuff, though, is there anything else that you can think of, like, related to what you think might happen? Part 1 Rue, like, anything else?
No. Not really.
I don't know if
I'm really, like, I have no idea what we're walking into. It could go so many directions. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it. I kind of hope that they lean into, like, making it kind of like an experimental, like, thing. And they play around with, like, episode structure and we get, like, some weird, like, one-offs.
You know what I'm afraid of?
We'll see.
I already know this is going to happen, but I just feel like it's such a tease. And I'm sad about that because it's only going to make me want season 2 more. It's not going to like fulfill anything for me.
Oh, yeah. And season 2 is a long way off.
It's a long way off. Alexa in the A24 podcast mentioned that they literally probably won't even start filming until next fall.
Yep.
Die. So that's like really it. This was kind of just like a little mini episode because we miss our Euphorians. We miss podcasting. Shit. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. We only really want to podcast when there's cool shit to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we're a Euphoria podcast. And there's nothing to talk about in Euphoria.
Although, okay, I will say this. Somewhere down the line, I don't know when, but we've had a couple of really sweet fans reach out and say that they're bummed we didn't do our high school experience episode. So that will resurface. I do want to make that clear.
That's like the great white whale that's still lurking out there in the depths.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It's a Moby Dick reference.
White whale?
Yeah, like it's always like it's out there. You know it's always out there, but like it's kind of like lurking. It's kind of like elusive. Grandpa. Like maybe someday we'll catch the great white whale.
Yeah, I was just happy to see that people like actually wanted to learn about our high school experiences because they're both very different and fun. So don't worry, we definitely are gonna circle back to that.
Also, we always get a kick out of all the fan theories. So please like jump on our social media and tell us what you think is going to happen in these 2 episodes because we would love to hear it. Our fans are so creative.
I know they are.
Always the Euphoria fandom brings the heat in terms of the like insane, wild, like creative.
They don't hold back.
Fan theories. So I would love to hear what people think is going to happen in these 2 episodes.
You know what else I love about our fans?
Maybe this is when Lexi and Fez are finally going to hook up.
You know what else is like I feel like our fans love, which we do too. I'm guilty of this. They love intermixing Euphoria storylines with the cast in real life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's always like some weird mix, and I'm like, no, like, there's no crossover between like the cast's like real life and Euphoria. Like they're totally separate. But people love like giving us theories that literally don't match at all, but they just match with like their real life.
Classic.
But yeah, I'm excited. Definitely do that. So continue to follow us on Instagram. We have a TikTok still. We've got everything: Twitter, Facebook. Let us know. Slide into the DMs. We love all of your theories. We love all your love. Just anything. We're bored as shit. We're about to be in lockdown again. And on that note, we also will absolutely be podcasting live right after the episode takes place on December 6th. And then we'll probably drop the episode either the next day. Yeah, we will.
Or the day right after.
I think the next day.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to be dying to know what we think.
We'll get it out ASAP. So, we'll see you in about a week.
Yeah. And then we'll do a little mini episode again, just like this, before episode 2. So that, keeping you all in the loop.
All right. Sounds good.
We usually cheers and say that's so euphoric, but we're not even drinking.
We'll just say that's so euphoric. Let's just fist bump. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do the fist bump.
Fist bump?
Yeah.
Boom. Or what do they do? Woogie, woogie, woogie.
Like the Hey Arnold. Woogie, 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 woogie. Okay, cool.
Cool. Love you guys.
All right.
Mwah.
That's so euphoric.
Yeah.